We've got a new inflation read. Bitcoin is teetering on that resistance/support zone along with many other stocks. Got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to talk about money market funds. We're going to talk about the name index today. We're going to look at all that stuff and a little bit more. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships, especially the Stalagmite level where you get the real-time trade posts and members only videos, and I will open that up to all paid tiers. If we get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I will open it up through the end of the year, and if it happens next year, I'll open it up for a month. We're currently at 9,150, so get those subscriptions up there so I can open this up to everyone that is on the paid tiers. All right, anyways, let's get into it. So first of all, we've got a CPI read today, and this is actually really good. We came in under expectation. So it was expected to be 3.1. We came in at 3.0. Same with the core. Expected 3.1. Came in at 3.0. Guess what? That means rate cut. We're going to get some rate cuts, and they're not really going to worry about making those rate cuts. So that's pretty exciting. And next week is, guess what? FOMC on Wednesday. So we're going to get that rate cut on Wednesday, which is going to put more fuel on this fire, which is going to feed into, and I'll show you what I think it's going to feed into right now on the global liquidity index. All right, so we had our dip, right? We had our dip, rip dip, right? And then this right here, this little dip right here, we're going into the end of the year, pulling up through mid-December-ish or so. The rate cut's going to feed into that, right? We're going to feed into this upward global liquidity move right here, especially when that government shutdown ends and the Treasury starts spending money again. Yeah, we're really going to be moving on this thing. So I'm pretty excited about that right now. I'm starting to get behind some trades. One I'm really happy I got behind yesterday and the day before, or started building out, was Bitfarms again. Bitfarms is up 11% in pre-market. I'm pretty happy to have gotten behind this one again. I know if you've been watching the channel a while, you know I flip-flop back and forth on these things because guess what? They flip-flop back and forth on us constantly. I mean, look at this thing. Some people might get annoyed with that, but I mean, look at this thing. It dropped 43% since October 15th. So in less than 10 days, 43%. And I sold somewhere near the top here. I sold near the top. Like I bought, I sold, I bought, I sold. I bought again now. I'll sell again somewhere up here. These things don't deserve to be held super long. Anyways, that's all. That's my little soapbox for now. Let's go on to the ICI. So the ICI money market funds, we can look here. This week. It increased by, 24 billion. 30 billion. Increased by $30 billion. We're now at $7.397 trillion sidelined in an asset that is about to start paying less again. So at some point, this money is going to find its way into stocks, but not yet. You can see institutions added 18 billion, retail added 12 billion. So we're at 7.397. And if we go to historically, all right, I found it. So we can see here, look at this. All right. Money market fund assets tend to come to a peak and then start selling off. Peak, start selling off, peak, start selling off. Where are these peaks? Well, the last peak before the one we're currently working on was in May 2020, April 2020. Yeah, May 2020. The peak before that was this January 2009. The peak before that there was one at 2001 that kind of held through 2002. And then I'm sure if we look at this one down here, if I could slide it over, you'd see a peak right here at about 1991. Also, what seems to mark the peak of a money market funds here is money market funds assets is, you guessed it, a recession. A recession tends to peak these things. So once we get a recession bar painted on back here, we'll probably see this thing come back down dramatically. In 2008-9, it fell in quite a lot. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing come back down to like a $4 trillion level, which means there's potentially $3 trillion of money that will find its way into stocks here at some point as soon as we are finally once we finally get that bump in the road that causes a recession and then causes equities to drop dramatically, and then this money will come rip-roaring in to just pop up. Okay, so pay attention to the money market funds, because when this is done going up, and look at this, this is one of the most vertical ones we've seen in a long time. I mean, that's more vertical than the dot-com bubble. It's about almost as vertical. No, it's a little more vertical than even the GFC. So, I mean, it's not as vertical as COVID. That was the most vertical. That was straight up. But this has been for the longest sustained period. Look at this, just pretty much straight up since 2022. And when this is done, I wouldn't be surprised to see it come back down to like $5 or $4 trillion, which would be a significant pump into the market. So when it comes, it will come, and it will be insane. All right, name index. We can see that they're still going up now, so it's at 90. So it's got a little bit of room here to run through the end of the year. Drop down to 80 for October. We haven't seen any. It hasn't been too wild. We're kind of in a middling area here for the name for the active managers. It's at 90. It could move up to as high as like 103 or 104, 105. It's like the highest it gets. They are still bearish. They're still bearish because if you go and look at where's the chart, fully short. So active managers are still fully short. They're not neutral. They're not bullish. And that's just how that is. And it's been a while since they've even been neutral. They've been leveraged short all through September, which was really dumb of them, to be honest. That was they definitely got wrecked on some stuff there. Anyways, that's that. All right, so let's go take a look a little bit. So let's look at Bitcoin. Let's go back to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin did what I said it should do, or said it needed to do, which was get above, right? We came above this big red candle here from October 16th, right? Guess what we did? We sold off immediately, but look where we came to. Look at that beautiful to the penny bottom right here. I'll show it to you again. We're going to zoom way in on this bad boy. Okay. Those two right there. Look at that. Look how they're just perfect. And then it bounced and went up, and it went up with a big engulfing candle that engulfed that candle, most of the other candle, and then yesterday or today now, we're engulfing all of these red candles right now. We're right on that, just above that point of control on the volume profile here. And this gives us room to push up to about 113,000, which would take out this other white candle. And then from there, we've got our next area that we are going to struggle with is going to be 121,000. That's going to be the next area we really struggle with. This might be a little bit of a struggle here around 115. You can see there's a lot of volume right there that needs to be overtaken. But I have a feeling that if things get wild enough, this inverted head and shoulders, what's going on? This inverted head and shoulders is going to just pop right up to 121. And once it gets there, we might see like a little flag and then a pop up to highs that for the end of the year that are going to be great. And I mean, we might not even get that. We might just see it roar right through it, and that'd be pretty cool. So right now, yeah, we're building. So one thing I also want you to see is this triangle down here, this rising triangle right there. Once we get above this thing, right, we come like this, top it, touch it from above, and then bam, we're off to the races. So we're watching that too. We also have that descending channel into a rising triangle and an inverted head and shoulders all in the same little spot right there. There's a lot of bullish setups right there. So I like Bitcoin right here. I'm still a little cautiously optimistic. I still think that the FOMC will probably be the kickoff. We might see a continued wobble for a few more days, but BX Trender is turning light red. RSI is crossing up on the signal. Stochastics are green on yellow. So and we've got 3 bullish patterns forming right here at the bottom of this range. So Bitcoin's looking great. That's what I'm trying to say. What about Ethereum? We haven't looked at ETH in a while. How's Ethereum looking? Not as great, but not bad. It's not terrible. We're doing a triangle. We're doing a triangle. It's compressing. What we want to see is it come out of this and then boom, take off. That's what we want to see from Ethereum. We'll see if we get it. We also, Solana is also kind of doing some stuff like that, where it's forming a base down here, it's compressing, and then once it's done compressing, it'll roar out of there. Dogecoin, same exact scenario. This looks also like an inverted head and shoulders. It could pop up easily to 26, 27 cents. I really like to see Dogecoin make it a new all-time high as the main meme coin. I do have a lot of Doge. I did sell off some Zone. That was always a gamble. I put too much into it, to be honest, to begin with, and I trimmed, honestly, at the bottom on this one. This one sucked. And will it come back? Yeah, probably. I did this with with Soluna as well. Like I bought in at like $3 originally, watched it go down to 50 cents, sold somewhere around like $1, picked it back up around 50 cents, and made 900% on its ascent back to $4. So I don't feel bad really about taking a loss on zone. And I still have a little more than half of the zone that I started with. It just seemed like like I put too much in it to begin with, more than I felt comfortable with as things started getting a little wobbly here, and I've decided to put that money to better use at this time. That's all. So zone sucked. Anyways, wow, look at these pre-market. CleanSpark 5.49%, Mara 3%, Hive 5%, Bit Farms 11%, Can 10%, ARBK minus 3%. That kind of sucks. Soluna up 3%. Up there, charging up again. That's nice. Lots of nice moves here. Lots of nice moves going on here. BitTier up 4%. ARBK, I really am a little bit upset that you're down 3% this morning. I'd really like to see that turn around. I'd like to see this descending channel break out and push up to 82 cents or higher. I'd really like to see it eclipse $1. That would make my call options worth quite a lot. It'd be nice. Is there anything else in here? Circle starting to wake up. Circle finally starting to wake up. Yes, I know I have a lot of fibs and stuff on here. Circle starting to wake up, hit the 618, held the 618 there twice now, so that's pretty good. We've got a descending channel here. Once we break out of that, I wouldn't be surprised to see it move up 149, 159, somewhere around there. That'll be exciting. Anyways, is there anything else that's like super exciting to look at right now? Not really. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about right now. Soxel just being crazy good. Let's look at, oh yeah, BTC divided by gold. All right, look at this. And if I turn on my moving averages, all right, look at this. This is the gold to Bitcoin ratio. Bitcoin, it came down and it's been driving into the lower Bollinger Band here for a while. But look, momentum just shifted, turned green. Yellow on green on the stochastics. This could be a bear flag, but if we get over the 20, I'm going to go ahead and say that we're probably going to move up way higher. Okay, so that's going to be pretty exciting. What about silver to gold? SLV, GLD. That's low still. This is still pretty low. Silver to gold ratio is pretty low. This could pop up and we see a run on silver. That's potential. What about SOX divided by SPY? Let's take a look at that. Not doing too bad. We got that nice little breakout a while ago. Touched the top Bollinger Bands. We're holding the 20. This could push higher. That'd be nice. What about, let's see, I looked at healthcare a while ago. XLV versus SPY. Yeah, it started popping up and it made a flag and it looks like it's poised to go a little bit higher. That'll be exciting. That'll be fun. What's another? Oh, SMR. I haven't talked about SMR in a while. This one's getting really interesting right now. So we came down to support, dramatically down to support. I mean, look at this, just in a matter of days, we went from like almost 60 all the way down to 32. That was wild. It looks like momentum starting to shift. I think on this one I'd have to dig a little bit lower, like maybe a 4 hour. Yeah, there we go. 4 hour is showing. We get over the 20 on this, I'd be looking at SMR to push up to about 44. That'd be pretty exciting, actually. I would like that. That'd be good. Good. HOND, they did their vote for the acquisition of terrestrial energy, which again is going to be similar to SMR. They have this one has a functioning modular reactor that they're going to be selling. And look at this. This thing's just been charging up. Again, we take the 50 on this at 21. I'd be looking at it to push up into the 25, 26, maybe even back up to 30 on HOND. So that's pretty exciting. Albemarle, ALB. This one I was close to 100%, it's like 80% or something. And then I sold it and now it's back up here. I should have reloaded on the 20. I got too much stuff going on, but now it's over $100. So that's pretty exciting for ALB. And lithium plays, EOSE. This is one I'd gotten into and I sold off the Terra 4 inflammation, but it's hitting the 20 right now. Pre-market, it is down, still is down. No, it's up in pre-market, right? Up in pre-market. Let me look. It's up. It's up in pre-market. Bounced off the 20. I might be interested in this one again. I lost a little tiny bit, like 20, $30 or something on this one. I might be interested, in reloading this thing potentially today for a zinc battery play. yeah, that's that. That's kind of everything today. It's not too much going on. We had our CPI read come in. Bitcoin's kind of riding the line. We've got FOMC next week. That's about it right now. I'm just kind of looking at a few different opportunities, continuing to push the Bitcoin miner trade, AI trade, as far as I can. Right now, I did do a nice trade on AAL the other day on American Airlines. Had good earnings, popped. That was a really nice little move from the bottom up here. It might continue. I'll see. But I don't like to trade things that touch the top Bollinger Band. I'd like to see it come back down a little bit. That's about it. Anyways, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, get us to that 10,000 subscribers. Check out the channel memberships, especially that stalagmite level. If you want to see how I am handling the end of this cycle, I will open up those posts to all paid tiers if we get to 10,000 before the end of the year. And if we do it in 2026, I'll open it up for a month. So in 2025 through the end of the year, in 2026 for a month. And anyways, that's all I got for you. Have a profitable day.